The Norwegian Bliss was built in 2018 and it is definitely one of NCL's best cruise ships, but it recently underwent a dry dock and refurbishment in February 2025. At 168,000 gross tons with approximately 4,000 guests at double occupancy, the ship has 1,700 crew members, 20 decks, 16 accessible to guests, and a lot to check out. Join us for a deck-by-deck overview of one of our favorite cruise ships. We've been on the Bliss before and after the dry dock, so we are uniquely qualified to tell you all about the amazing things you can do on this wonderful ship. So sit back, let's take a look from every single deck what you can enjoy on this massive, beautiful cruise ship. Thanks for following us here at the Sail Away. If you like this content, please do click that subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, and let's get to it. We're gonna start all the way at the top of the ship and work our way down. Now we're starting all the way up. We're technically on deck 19 right now, but before we get started, I want to let you know, go follow us at the Sail Away on Facebook. If you do follow us, for people who follow the page, you get a copy of each of the 7 days of the Freestyle Daily, which is a huge advantage for you. The rest of our videos on this YouTube channel, we have a full vlog of each of our 7 days on the Bliss, as well as NCL Bliss for kids, and a bunch of other videos, including a room tour. Let's orient now. We are on deck 19, the sun deck. Down here is 17, and 16 is the pool deck. Now that you kind of know where we are on the ship, let's get to the tour. I say this often, but the sun deck areas of almost every NCL ship are very underutilized. So on 18, 19, 20, you're gonna have beautiful open sun deck space that just people never really utilize. If you want to have a small group gathering with your friends, I highly encourage you to check out this on the Bliss or really any Norwegian ship. Now, interestingly, on deck 20, this is where laser tag used to be and then was converted to Horizon Park. I think something's happening here. It was closed for the duration of our trip. In this area of deck 19, there is a bar and the Vibe Beach Club. The Vibe is an additional charge and it's adults only area beach club. We're not going to be reviewing that for this purpose. If that's something you're interested in, like I said, it is an additional pass that you purchase for the ship. For our purposes, it simply wasn't necessary. If you're looking for secret hot tubs, go to deck 19. You're going to find hot tubs, which are very rarely used. I know there's people probably mad at me now, but on deck 19 in this sun deck area, you've got a shower, a ton of seating, and what I would call secret hot tubs on actually both sides of the ship. If you don't want to go to those busy hot tubs at the pool area, go up a couple levels, 16, 17, 18, 19. In the aft or rear portion of the ship is a free mini golf course. There's your clubs and your balls. Grab a friend, grab some family, and play some mini golf if that's something you're interested in. This was very underutilized. I don't think you'll have to wait if you're interested in checking it out. The last thing on deck 19 that takes us down to deck 18 is the NCL Bliss Speedway electric go-karts. This was literally the idea of the grandchild of Norwegian CEO. Norwegian CEO asked his grandchild, what would be something cool on a cruise ship? And he said, how about go-karts? And now we have this, the NCL Bliss Speedway. For $15, you get to go around the 8 times. You can race other people, and they have singles and doubles as well. I really recommend this. You can also get an unlimited pass for go-karts, but that is select for certain sailings. The NCL Bliss Speedway are electric karts, so it's not a ton of noise. It's a lot of fun. They go really fast, and it's a really great deal. For $15, give it one try. I promise it's going to be a memory for the rest of your lifetime. While we're also on deck 18, let's check out some of the rest. Forward of deck 18 is largely space for the Haven, which is a ship within a ship that we will not be covering on this tour. There is a very small sun deck if you'd like to enjoy it. In the aft or rear of deck 17 is Spice H2O. If you're looking for a place to go that is adults only, that you don't have to pay for, this is where you'll go. During the daytime, it's a place that has a really unique waterfall feature, as well as plenty of lounger spaces and some additional hot tub spaces. There's plenty of views of the back of the ship and a very nice hot tub with an excellent view, by the way. Check that out. Spice H2O is occasionally open for all ages gatherings, but during our sailing, we didn't actually see that happening, so it's worth noting. Let's go ahead and check out what else is on 17. It's American Diner. It's on deck 17. It is an included dining option. It's a vintage themed diner, and it's actually going to be similar to another restaurant called The Local that we'll talk about, but it's sort of 50s burger shack sort of dining. On our voyage, American Diner was only open from 12 to 3 on C days, so be sure to check your freestyle daily. By the way, if you go to our Facebook page, we have all of the freestyle dailies from all of our journeys, so you can see a sample of what you might have in store. I actually would recommend that you check out American Diner, and it is an improvement from the layout on the Breakaway, which we also have a full ship tour of, because there's not as much open elements. We got very cold dining on the Breakaway in American Diner, but we didn't have that experience here. So do check it out at least one of your C days, and check out those dailies on our Facebook page. If you can grab one of these booths, they're definitely a great photo opportunity, and they just look really, really cool. Well, what else is on deck 17, you might be asking? Great question. There is a jogging track. It's actually my favorite jogging track at sea. That's on deck 17. It's best to grab the jogging track in the morning because it does get very busy throughout the rest of the day. There is, of course, something for the whole family right here. We're about to walk up to two of my favorite features on 17, which is the water slide. As you exit American Diner, you're going to see Ocean Loops, which is the drop slide. So you're going to go right up there, and a platform is going to drop you down all the way over the side of the ship. Don't worry, by the way, if you do get stuck on the slide, there is a small little exit area right here where someone's happy to help you get out of Ocean Loops. I definitely recommend trying it. It's not for everyone. Right next to Ocean Loops is a much more calm experience. It's the Aqua Racer, and it's not nearly as scary as it sounds. This is an intertube style water slide. You grab one of these tubes, you go all the way up to the top, and you have a nice, easy, relaxing water slide all the way back down to deck 17, exiting actually right out by the kids area. This is a much calmer water slide experience. I think even younger kids who might not normally want to go on this would have an easy time doing the Aqua Racer. So give that a shot if Ocean Loops is not for you. Deck 17, you will have your main pool hot tubs. There are 1, 2, 3 hot tubs, 2 on each side. This is a little bit of a different change for me. You can see down here is the general pool area. This is the kids' pool. Up here, just one floor above, is where you're going to find the general access hot tubs. Now, remember when I told you about those sort of secret hot tubs up on the sun deck area, but also in Spice H2O? If you find this area by the pool is too busy, those hot tubs are a little bit too crowded, maybe there's too many kids in those areas, go ahead and go back to that sun deck area or go back to Spice H2O, and you'll find much easier access. There are some other hot tubs as well that we'll cover as we go down lower on the ship. As you can see here, this is the remainder of both sun deck area and the jogging track area. Plenty of open space, plenty of seating, and plenty of wonderful views on deck 17. Plenty to see, plenty to do, and plenty of space to relax. It's just a different perspective to show you the pool area, deck 17, and the Aqua Racer water slide with Ocean Loops in a distant view. You might be able to catch a little bit of the Bliss Speedway. Here in this more forward or mid section, you have more chairs for you to relax, as well as some tabletop tennis areas if you'd like to grab some. There is no charge for this particular space. Going down to deck 16, we're going to get the Garden Cafe, which is the buffet of the cruise ship. This has some interesting hours. I think most people think the buffet is always open, but the hours of operation are, for example, 7 a.m. to 10:30, 11:30 to 3 p.m., and then 5 p.m. to 9:30. It is not always open. This is a sprawling and massive buffet. When people talk about Norwegian's newer cruise ships and they say that they have a smaller buffet area, they are often comparing them to these massive sprawling buffets on the Breakaway class ships. These buffets are going to mirror each other on each side, the port and starboard side of the ship. And I know there's a lot to check out here. There is plenty of available seating, and there's many dining options. If you have a question, for example, about dining on the ship, we're actually going to dive into this much more detail with a video of all dining options on the NCL Bliss. So be sure to check out that video as well. In terms of food quality, high-level overview, I think that the buffet on the Norwegian Bliss delivered very nicely throughout the experience. I will say, however, we only dined here a total of about 3 total times. We often went to the buffet to grab coffee, and one new addition is the fact that you can swipe your key card and you can get sodas right here. A lot of the times, if you're trying to get a soda on the ship, you're going up to a bar, waiting in line. That makes it a little bit of a hassle, but they've completely changed that, and I do think that was a nice addition. There's ice cream machines, there's coffee, tea, and juice here as well, and at the very back of the buffet, there is a bar. Little bit of a tip about the buffet bar. It is often the fastest way to get a drink. Look at this. You can walk right up in a minute or less and get yourself a drink at the buffet. The buffet is actually right above another area of the ship, which is the observation lounge that we will cover shortly. But as you can see, there is a ton of space, a ton of food, and a ton of seating on the Norwegian Bliss. I will say, this area did not change very much with the dry dock in February 2025, and I wish that they had done some updates in both the style and cleanliness of the space. The seating in particular is very tired in the buffet because it is one of the most utilized areas of the ship. A little bit disappointing to see that that was not refreshed, but by no means was it a disappointing experience. As cruise ship buffets go, the Bliss remains on the top of our experiences. So if you like buffets, you will not be disappointed by the Bliss, but be sure to check the daily because you might be surprised that the buffet was not open when you thought it might be. Going out of the buffet on deck 16 is the pool. Lots of fun spaces here. As you can see, this is a little nod to how this ship was originally designed for Alaska. On the forward section of the buffet, you're gonna have the surf bar. Lots of available seating. This is actually the adults only pool. This is a new change. People love that fact. As you get to the aft or rear area of the pool, this is the kids only pool. This is such a great addition. I'm really proud of Norwegian for doing it. There's a ton of fun things. I mean, this technically was always the kids only pool, but separating these two areas has been a really nice addition. This allows the kids to have their own special place with lots of cool play areas here. There's water features that do really neat things throughout the voyage, and I'm just really happy with how they've utilized this space. Mid-starboard is the Waves bar, great bar, easy access, great service. And then adjacent to the Waves bar, again on deck 16, is the smoking area. The smoking area does have a clear, generally unobstructed view of the rest of the pool area for safety purposes, and it is outdoors. Also on deck 16 is the spa and the gym. This is going to be the aft area. Let's go ahead and check out the Pulse Fitness Center first. Now they have crammed a lot of equipment into a very small area, which also includes a cycling area and a studio. I never see any issues with anyone getting any space or equipment, and they do such a good job of keeping the space clean, and it's just really impressive. But it is a small, very tight space. Keep that in mind. My favorite spot on the whole ship is definitely the Mandara Spa and Salon. There is a barber shop here. There's a beauty shop here. There's chairs where you can have various treatments done. There are more treatments that I could list in this entire video, to be honest with you. They are all upcharges. This area itself, the spa, is an upcharge. Our voyage cost $289 per person, but it was worth every single penny. This area is very relaxing, very well maintained. There's a therapy pool. There are saunas, there's a relaxation salt area, there are deep thermal chairs where you can sit in a warm ceramic chair, and oh my gosh, I really love Mandara. They did a nice job on this ship. We're gonna have a full review of the Thermal Suite Spa experience for you here on the Sail Away. By the way, good time to remind you to click that subscribe button. This is totally free for you. All of our tips, tricks, and travel best practices. You're not going to believe this, though. One of the craziest things about the spa, they've got a snow room. Let's go down to deck 15. And this is the area that truly made us fall in love with the Norwegian Bliss during our first sailing in March of 2023. That is the observation lounge. And the Bliss does the observation lounge experience perfectly. This is a massive 20,000 square foot space, and you can imagine how amazing this space is during an Alaska sailing, or really any sailing. You get to look out the front of the ship. Now keep in mind, this is right below the buffet, just to orient you. But at the front, you have these massive, expansive windows. Imagining seeing glaciers, or whales, or the beautiful Alaskan scenery, or the Mexican Riviera. This space is so special. It was really part of what made us fall in love with cruising because it's relaxing, it's elegant, it's beautiful, it's contemporary, it's clean, there's food here, all of the things we truly love about the Observation Lounge. And they take such good care of this space. The Bliss values its Observation Lounge just as much as we do. So much space, so much room. Now, I'm guessing you might have heard some rumors or some discussion. They did recently reduce the size of the Observation Lounge in order to accommodate more rooms, but I've got to be honest with you, you barely notice it. Throughout various times in the day, the Observation Lounge also has small food items. It's not a buffet, it's not a comprehensive eating space, but it's enough to get a little bit of a light snack. If you want to grab a muffin or some breakfast in the morning with some coffee, look out the window. It's there at the Observation Lounge. So we're going to go down to deck 8 now because the rest of decks 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and 9 are primarily staterooms. On deck 8, you're going to have this beautiful outdoor space called the Waterfront, which has both walkway and outdoor seating for many of your favorite restaurants and venues. The Waterfront is an amazing space, and it's a really good way to dine al fresco or just enjoy the beautiful views of the ship, whether you're in port or at sea. There's lots of space out here, and they've done a really nice job of merging both the indoor dining spaces and giving you a comfortable outdoor space, along with a few bars that are also outside. It's a really nice space to walk around and enjoy your time on the cruise. We are still on deck 8, but now let's go to Food Republic. Food Republic is an Asian fusion restaurant, and it is an upcharge or specialty dining. At Food Republic, you order your food on this little tablet here, and they bring it right to your table. This is the same tablet they use in indulged food halls, but remember, this is a specialty dining restaurant. It has been significantly elevated since our last time in 2023, and we enjoyed our experience. Now, if we go port side from deck 8, we're going to go to the District, which is a brew house. And this has a lot of very good spacious seating. It's a comfortable bar area. It has various hours, but it's certainly always open at night. This is where you'll find custom beers you can't find anywhere else on the ship and lots of comfortable seating. There is a piano bar on most nights that was truly enjoyable. We had a really great time there. And I know that you can see a lot of seating here in the District. But at nighttime, this place is packed because it's a very good environment and lots of people enjoy the piano bar, as well as the excellent service of the bar, which we consistently rated a 5 out of 5. Also on deck 8 is Cellars, which is the wine club. Here you have iPads that have a full list of expanded wines available to you, as well as a bar that has a sommelier, which is able to offer you additional advice or perhaps teach you about pairings. In this area, which we'll talk about, there are also wine tastings and pairings, which I highly recommend. They're a great value. Cellars is the front part of La Cucina, which is a specialty dining Italian-themed restaurant. And on the Bliss, I have to say, it is very nicely done. We've been on La Cucina on many ships, but the Bliss has a very classic yet upscale theme. A lot of La Cucina, I think, looks a bit like Olive Garden, but that's not necessarily how it feels on the Bliss. I think they've done a really nice job here, making an elevated space. And one of the things I will say about La Cucina is incredible value. We do have a full video of all dining available on the NCL Bliss, as well as some information, updates, and recommendations on that dining. La Cucina is an upcharge, but we were able to take advantage of a very special promotion on board where we got 2 specialty dining credits for the price of 1. So really, both of us got to eat at La Cucina for the cost of only 1 person eating, and we took advantage of this beautiful outdoor space to dine al fresco, enjoy the beautiful weather, hear the sounds of the ocean as we ate at La Cucina. This is a really nice and underutilized space. It's not as popular as some of the more contemporary or new dining spaces, but La Cucina on the Bliss is a beautiful space. Remember though, it is an upcharge. If you love karaoke or you like the Beatles, then you're going to go to deck 8 again, and that is the Cavern Club, which is styled after the famous Cavern Club. It is a small bar, a small venue, so it does fill up very quickly. As I said, this is where the Beatles experience is on the ship, which is a great show, but it's also where people love to go and do a little bit of karaoke at night, which makes the venue really special, so check it out. Also on deck 8 is Malting's Whiskey Bar, a personal favorite, which is a premium spot that has a very excellent staff and a beautiful seating space. Malting's is a great place to socialize. Sugarcane makes a mean mojito, and it is a really nice spot for dancing in the evening. They often have live music. It's a very lively space, and the bartenders are excellent. The drinks are top notch. And there is also a cigar lounge, the Humidor, on deck 8, right next to the whiskey bar. There is so much to do on deck 8. We're not even halfway done yet. Reminder that, of course, there is the waterfront. So in addition to everything I just showed you, you have outside access to Humidor, an outside bar for the Cavern Club, and also along this walkway, an outside bar right outside of Sugarcane. All of these spaces in deck 8, but we're not even done yet. So much to see, so much to do. Let's keep going on deck 8. Palomar is an absolutely stunning and beautiful restaurant. It is a specialty dining or upcharge restaurant. It is a nautically themed seafood restaurant, and we were not sure how we would feel about Palomar, the dining experience. But the only thing that rivals this beautiful setting is the actual top-notch service. It was truly a 6 out of 5 in terms of service. A small venue. Make sure you get your reservations as soon as you can because it does fill up and there is limited seating at this beautiful restaurant. And right by Palomar, we'll get this first shot of the beautiful chandelier in one of the sort of two atrium-like areas, 6, 7, and 8. And then you'll see that there is a lot of shopping, whether that's Effie or shopping for accessories, handbags, colognes, whether you're looking for duty-free or general purpose items like souvenirs, like hats or t-shirts. There's also a watch store. There is abundant shopping on the rear of deck 8 or the aft section of deck 8. You can actually find some very good deals here, as well as a reminder that a lot of these items are tax and duty-free because you're at sea. In the aft of deck 8, there is one more bar, which is the A-list. This is a lot of cruisers' favorite bar. It's an upscale bar with excellent service because it's right in the middle of one of the most important specialty dining restaurants, which is also the entire aft of deck 8, and that is Cagney's. Cagney's is truly one of NCL's most famous restaurants, and they have made a recent renovation on the Bliss where they've taken out Los Lobos and made the entire aft section of the NCL Bliss Cagney's. This is a high-end steakhouse. It is a specialty dining upcharge. It is one of the most popular restaurants, which is why they nearly doubled the space. We love Cagney's, and our experience on Cagney's on this trip was top-notch. It's a must-book. It's a must-dine. It is an upcharge. It's worth every single penny. Cagney's is on deck 8, and that's the end of deck 8. Let's head on down to deck 7 with the Bliss Theater. This nearly 1,000-seat theater has amazing acoustics and advanced technology. Very fun to see shows in here. They do still have Jersey Boys, and they also have events, daily features. They have bingo, for example. This is the rally point for many of your excursions and a lot of good times. The final night, we were able to see the Beatles show here, and I would recommend seeing the Beatles show here instead of the Cavern Club because you're not going to be able to worry about finding a seat, and the energy of the massive crowd, it makes the show a little bit more special. You're definitely going to want to spend time at the Local. It is a bar and grill on deck 7, and it is open almost 24 hours a day. In fact, it is open 24 hours a day with a few brief reset periods, so be sure to check the Freestyle Daily for details. There's a bowling alley at the Local, but there's also video games and amazing seating. One of the best things about the Local is you have a lot of seating, great food, a bar, easy access, and it overlooks the Atrium. So while you're grabbing a meal, or maybe while you're grabbing just a quick drink, you can take a look at a show in the Atrium or people watch like we like to do. The Local on the Bliss was a consistent, good experience, and the food is very good. It is bar and pub style food, and it's available most of the day. On deck 7, you're going to have the Skyline Bar, which is located in the casino. The Skyline does have tabletop gaming and very good service. The casino is sprawling and covers a significant portion of deck 7. It also has a smoking area which is closed off. They do ask that you are gaming while using the smoking, but honestly, I never saw that actively policed. As you can see here, there's plenty of tabletop games, there are plenty of machines, and a lot of people spend a lot of time at the casino at sea. They do have table service if you are playing table games or you're playing at the machines. We did not spend a lot of time in the casino here, but it's a big improvement from the Breakaway Casino, which allowed smoking in general, kind of in this casino area, and smelled a lot of smoke. You can't really smell smoke throughout this casino. And this is all part of 678 Ocean Place, which is this sprawling area where this hub of activity happens on decks 6, 7, and 8, connected all by this beautiful space right here, the chandelier, and this glass staircase that you can take all the way from deck 6 all the way up to deck 8. And it is a beautiful space, if not just to enjoy. Let's keep on with the rest of the ship. All the way in back of deck 7 is the Manhattan. The Manhattan room is the main dining room. It is a sprawling and beautiful space. Great place to have dinner at the end of the night. The theme of the Manhattan is sort of the golden era of Hollywood, and it definitely feels like that when you enter this space. You know, one of the things I love about cruising is just enjoying the beautiful spaces that we have access to, and this is another example of that. The thing about the Manhattan room is right below Cagney's, and so you have these expansive panorama views, and the atmosphere is just really top-notch. That's one of the things I love about NCL in these main dining rooms. They really understand atmosphere, and whether you're dining with friends that you just met on the ship or your family, this is an amazing and very beautiful space to do that. It's on the back of deck 7, and that is a wrap for us on this particular deck. Look at this amazing space. Let's go check out some more spaces. Okay, let's move on through deck 6 to Q. Q is a Texas sort of barbecue joint. I never see people here. They use it more for events than they do for dining. It's a nice space. It's just a shame. I think they haven't figured out a compelling menu, and so it just doesn't get used that much. Every night we were on this trip, they had the option of having it as a 2-for-1 deal every single night, which means it probably wasn't that busy. The library and card room is also on deck 6. This space is very nice, it's very peaceful and relaxing, and was used quite frequently on the ship. So deck 6, right by Q, is the library and card room. There are also meeting rooms, so if you wanted to host a business function or a family gathering, partner with the ship and find out the cost or availability of these rooms. Also on deck 6 is Perspectives, the photo studio. So if you wanted to do family photos or get a photo of your significant other while you're on the cruise ship, there's a professional team there with the studio, but they also take photos around the ship as part of the photo package and experience. There is also a shop where you can purchase all of your photos as well. That is back up on deck 8. Now we're in the Atrium, a vast and sprawling space where so many things happen. Of course, you have the internet desk area, which is going to be right back here, but so much seating and so many wonderful views of your journey. This is the internet desk, so if you have a problem with your internet connection or package, you'll head here, talk to the internet desk manager. They're always very helpful, so don't be afraid to talk to the internet manager. The Atrium bar right on deck 6 is the busiest bar on the ship. I wouldn't recommend this on embarkation day, but they staff the best bartenders here and it's always available. You have this massive screen where they have tons of events, activities, trivia. Right here they're doing cupcake making, which is kind of fun. You can see how this sprawls up to the local, which is right above us as well. Starbucks on the NCL Bliss. You can purchase a la carte items at the Starbucks, or you can add on to your existing package a basically unlimited Starbucks option. And this is one of the larger Starbucks spaces I've actually seen on a cruise ship, period. And that's right on deck 6, right next to this area here, which is the Latitudes and Cruise Next desk. They always say, do not wait until the last day. And I gotta tell you, they're very serious. In this area, you'll also find the onboard credit area and the shore excursion desk. I definitely encourage you to go to the ShoreX desk if you have questions. They are very knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about. And I hope you don't have to go here, but this is where you will get guest relations, If you've got problems on your bill or you need to address any particular items that you have on the ship, head on over to the guest relations desk and they'll do their best to help you out. All right, continuing past the atrium, you're going to actually go to sort of the midpoint of 6, 7, 8 Ocean Place, which is what this area is called. You have this awesome chandelier. To your left, if you're walking aft, you're going to find teppanyaki. They recently replaced an ice cream shop with a larger teppanyaki area. Teppanyaki is a hibachi-style grill, and they have expanded this space quite massively because it is very popular. In fact, teppanyaki frequently sells out on all Norwegian voyages. They've removed an ice cream shop to add much more room, similar to what they did with Cagney's. This is an upcharge, and it is worth every penny. There's very entertaining as the chefs prepare on these hibachi-style grills right in front of you. We've always had a good experience with teppanyaki on NCL. We did not experience it on this ship, but we have in the past, and it's been really great. Highly recommend. And then off to your port side, or right, you're going to see the Social Comedy Club. It's also a nightclub. There are a ton of events in the Social. They have art auctions here. There are comedy events here, both all ages shows and adults only shows, but it's also just a really beautiful and I think underutilized space. There is a bar here and it's a really fun and eclectic space to hang out with your friends. I mean, this space is just it's kind of stunning, to be honest with you. And it's one of those places that a lot of people don't actually get over to, but imagine grabbing a comedy show here, a couple drinks with friends, having a laugh. It's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful space. You'll walk through the rest of Deck 6 to what I think were our most frequented included dining options, which are going to be Taste and Savor. Taste and Savor are included main dining and breakfast options, as well as lunch on certain sea days. In the middle, there is this mix bar. Taste and Savor have essentially the same menu. However, we did have a consistently better experience in Taste ourselves. If you're not sure which one you're in, one good way to tell is Savor has red chairs and Taste has green chairs. Functionally, as I said, they have the same menu. They are very nice spaces, and this is a place that we went almost every day for breakfast because it avoided the chaos of the buffet. As I said, the mix bar is a great place to grab a drink if you're waiting, for example, for an evening reservation. If you had the option of eating at Taste or Savor for dinner over the Manhattan Room, my personal recommendation would be that you pick these restaurants. While that is what makes it nice is that you've got the mix bar to hang out while you're waiting. One of the things I think that I enjoy most about Taste and Savor is how refined the space is. I love space. I love enjoying a nice ambiance, a nice environment. And Taste and Savor consistently are just very well taken care of spaces, and they're beautiful spaces. So whether that's breakfast or if it's open for lunch, for example, on a sea day, or whether that's even the final day that you leave, disembarkation, these locations are open for you to grab a seat. Cruise ships can be very chaotic sometimes and very busy. One of the ways to damp down some of that chaos is to head to Taste or Savor. They moved the ship model to the rear of Deck 6 from the observation lounge because, again, they closed off some of that to create rooms. But if you want to see the ship model, which I think is fun, that's in the very back or aft of Deck 6, along with the placards of ports that we have visited. Now going to Deck 5, we're going to have the arcade. This is not a complimentary space. The games here range in price, and you can purchase an unlimited pass for anything that is not a game of chance. So anything where you can win tickets, that's not going to be included in that. But if you have kids and they love an arcade, this is a fun space. Our son really enjoys going to the arcade on the Bliss. He does love to play those games for tickets, and it does get quite expensive. So make sure that you're checking in with your kids on that. But the space is fun. I must admit, I too enjoy playing a good claw machine. This is on Deck 5, but there's some other things to show you. There's a bunch of stuff for kids on Deck 5. There is the Guppies program. Guppies is for kids aged 0 to 3, but it is not a drop-off program. You do have to be with your children, but it is a fun area that's a little bit less, chaotic, and it's a bit more safe for your kids to have specific play areas for them. That's guppies age 0 to 3, not a drop-off program. The next one is actually Splash Academy. Splash Academy is for kids age 3 to 12. Splash Academy takes up a huge area of Deck 5, and there's lots of things to do. In Splash Academy, this is a drop-off program where you can drop off your kids. This is a supervised area, but I would recommend checking in on embarkation day to learn details and availability. And then this is Entourage. This is the Teens Club for ages 13 to 17. This is unique because if you allow this, your kids can sign themselves in and out. There's video games here, plenty of open space. They do have programmed activity as well. And this is something that our son really enjoyed, especially in the evening times where they had group events. He had a blast. And that is the last thing on Deck 5. And that just about wraps it up. We're actually going to go all the way back up now to Deck 17, and there's a specialty dining restaurant called Le Bistro. It is a French-themed specialty dining restaurant, and in terms of overall service quality, Le Bistro was our total favorite. I've got to be honest with you, I always love Le Bistro. It is on Deck 17, it is an upcharge, but I came back to Le Bistro for one specific reason. I wanted to let you know that we're going to have a full review of a couple of things. Number one, should you book the NCL Bliss? Number two, what are all of the dining options on the NCL Bliss? Are they an upcharge or are they included? We also have reminder, that video, NCL Bliss for kids, as well as a daily vlog of our experience on the NCL Bliss. This space is a beautiful space and we absolutely loved it. And once again, Le Bistro proved to be an excellent dining option. Of course, there's so many things to do on the Norwegian Bliss. Whether that is shopping and treating yourself to something special, or checking out a beautiful port and going on an excursion, or perhaps it's just enjoying the full space of this beautiful ship. Or maybe at nighttime, going to a show with friends or family. Maybe you like to just catch a glimmer, get a jog around the track, or go for a nice luxurious dip in the hot tub. The Norwegian Bliss is an amazing ship. We really appreciate you joining us on this trip, and we hope you sail with Norwegian soon. Please consider subscribing to our channel. That's it from the Bliss, and that's it from the Sail Away.